Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about going with the flow and when you should stop trying too hard. So what I mean by this is, obviously now you've watched these videos, right? You've watched these videos and you've started on self-improvement. You've started improving yourself slowly, right guys? Started improving slowly. I hope so. And so you find yourself really overstressing yourself with just your goals and just whatever you want to do. You find yourself really just overthinking too much, and you're not really seeing much progress, or you don't think you're making much progress. And so this is why you should go with the flow. And what I mean by that is, you don't go with the flow and just not have a plan or anything. You don't have anything to do. You don't have an end goal in mind. That's not what going with the flow is. Going with the flow is when you are literally just sticking to a schedule, but then something happens and then you have to go with the flow. You have to adapt. And so that's what I mean. Adapt and overcome. Now, let's say you are going to travel somewhere and you have to take a break from the gym. Now, what most people will do is they'll overstress themselves and they'll get really sad and they'll beat themselves up just because they can't go to the gym, and they'll just blame the whole world. They'll blame the world, or they'll blame themselves usually, but sometimes people will blame the world, oh, everything's so unfair, everything's made up to make me fail. And I'm just here to say, that's where you have to adapt. You have to be flexible. You can't just stick to one thing, and then if it doesn't go your way, you're just oh fuck, well, I can't do it anymore because it's not going my way. Sorry to cut the video because my phone fell out of the stand, but what I was about to say is, adapting is when you are faced with an obstacle and then you look at it and say, okay, well, I'm gonna do this now to try and be the same person I am. So let's say you were going to go on a vacation. You don't go to the gym. I'm continuing on. You don't go to the gym and you're beating yourself up for it. That's what most people do. The other person who can adapt will see that they're going on vacation, plan out what they're gonna do, like calisthenics or something body weight. They're gonna plan that out and then stick to it while they're on vacation. So while they're on vacation, let's say they're doing push-ups till failure or pull-ups till failure, they'll be doing that. So that's what adaptation is. And you can connect this back to how society was built. You think that just because there wasn't peace, or something didn't go their way, they were just oh well, we can't do anything now, let's just sit at home and just not progress society. You think they were gonna do that? That's not how society worked. They had to adapt and overcome. So you have to apply the same rules to your life. You can't just sit there and be the same person you were and just say, well, shit, now I can't do this because of this and this and this, and you make up excuses. So when you are faced with an obstacle, plan out how you're gonna overcome that obstacle, even if it's slow, even if it's not the ideal motive or move to do. Even if it's like that, you have to plan out how you're gonna stick to what you are, what you want to do, and what you want to become. Stick to that plan and overcome. So that was me when I went for vacation this summer break. I couldn't go to the gym because I was out of the country. So I said to myself, or I wrote out and I planned out what I was gonna do, and I wrote out a whole ass schedule of what I'm gonna do, push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, all types of ab exercises and stuff, and I'd do them till failure, at least every day. And if I couldn't do it every day, then I'll just do double that the next day. that means going past failure. So during the vacation, obviously I couldn't go some days to like work out by myself. So I had to do those push-ups. And if I couldn't do those push-ups on that day that I couldn't go to the gym, then I just do double the next day. That's what adapting is. That's how you overcome whatever is thrown at you in life. And it's vital. It's vital that you know how to adapt and overcome. Sorry, I don't know why this shit just doesn't... Yeah, see, it doesn't like... Okay, there we go. I guess. It's vital to adapt. And I know I'm saying this a lot, but it's one of the most important skills you can have. Because if you're thrown into a new place, let's say you move to a new country, you're not just going to sit there and just say, oh no, like the stuff that I used to do doesn't work anymore over here, so I just can't do anything anymore. You're not going to do that. You're going to adapt, and you're going to be like, okay, well now what do? I have to assimilate into the culture. I have to get a job. I have to go and find a gym. I have to learn the language. That's what you do. You don't sit there and just say, well shit, I can't do shit now, so let me just sit here and waste away. That's what adapting and overcoming is. And people tend to forget this. They tend to forget this factor in their self-improvement journey. And so when obstacles are thrown at them, they just look at it and say, I knew this was not going to go my way. Like anything never goes my way. Or fuck, I messed up my words, but nothing ever goes my way and shit. They'll say that and then they'll beat themselves up and then they'll never go back to it again. They'll never go back to working out. They'll never go back to meditating. They'll never go back to doing bad habits. And so they'll relapse. They'll relapse 10 times harder than they were doing those bad habits before, when they were doing consistently. That's why you have to learn to adapt and overcome. And be flexible. Being flexible is one of the most important skills in our world right now. Because when you're flexible, people will like you. People will say, hey, that guy is really open to stuff. Like, he's really open-minded. Like, I really like that about him. That's why I really like him. He's really open-minded and he can adapt to any situation that he's put in. You need to be like that. You need to adapt to whatever you're put in. So, even if it's going to a new country, going to a new school, you have to come up with a plan. You need to know that you have to adapt. If you're going into something and you don't know, or you refuse to acknowledge that you're gonna need to adapt and be flexible to your circumstances, then you're just gonna lose. You're not gonna thrive because you don't have a plan. You're not calculated enough. You're not cautious enough. You're just not smart enough to understand that you need to adapt. And so that's why I'm making this video, because a lot of people tend to forget that you need to adapt and overcome. And I've said that so many times now, but people forget that adaptation is one of the most important skills that anyone can have. And it's just one of the most useful as well. So why not implement it? Well, that's because it's hard. Adapting is hard because you're used to your way of life already. And then when you're thrust into a new place, a new way of life, your body and your brain just goes into shutdown mode because it doesn't know what to do. But that's where you take control of your brain. You take control of your brain and make a plan for what you're going to do. You don't go into something without a plan. That's like going into a forest and not having a map. Like, you're fucking stupid. So, yeah, that's all I had to say for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. A little bit of a short video. Actually, it's like 10 minutes. Most of you guys don't even watch all of the whole video, so whoever's not watching the whole video, they're just losing out on good information that I'm giving out. So that's fine. Thanks to all who actually watch the videos and watch them like all the way completely. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for the support. We're slowly growing. Almost at 25 subscribers. That's insane. Not even a month since I started and we're already at 25 subscribers. So we're just gonna keep on going, bro. slow but steady. So thank you guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. See ya.